This is September 4th, and I'm at the 40th anniversary of Let East here at the Hilton Hotel in Parsippany, New Jersey, and I'm with the Jersey Jewel, Geri Petito. Is that right, Geri?
Yes, that's right.
You know, I've read so much about you, heard so much about you, and I'm really excited to hear your story. First of all, I'll tell you that my daughter is 16 years sober, and we're so proud of her and the woman that she has become in her life. And I know you've been through that, but tell me what got you from where you started to where you are today.
Okay, so when I wrote my book in 2016, I was asked to be interviewed on Hamilton Radio. Okay, Doc G is the original owner of Hamilton Radio, and he said, Jer, I want my daughter DJ Danny to interview you. So I said, sure. So we did the interview live on Facebook screen. It was great. And he approached me after the show and he said, you've got a really great radio voice. I'd love for you to come along. And I laughed because I tell everybody I should have done this my whole life. I was in trouble every day of my life in school for talking. So I was like, I should have done this a long time ago. So anyway, that's what started this. And then the next thing I know, I'm picked up by PANJ Radio. Then I'm picked up by O&E, Beverly Nation, Damon Network. I mean, we're all over the world. We're up to like 17 million listeners now. It's insane, Glenn. It's insane what God has done for me. And, you know, I was on other networks as well. Now I do a podcast also. And here's the thing I want to say. We have to start looking at addiction differently. My book, I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. I'd rather be a smart ass than a dumbass, guys, because 31 years ago, I was a dumbass. But through the grace of God, 31 years later, I can honestly say now I'm a smart ass. Yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey. And that's what I was, Glenn. Yeah. So I took a different route. I did everything they told me to do, 30 days in the place, you know, I did everything back then. But the meetings were getting to me because I had a great support system, my family, my friends. And I'm not telling anyone not to do meetings, guys, if that's your support. But don't believe the lies that you're powerless. You're not. Mm-hmm. You're not powerless over anything, especially with God. So I had to stop all that. So I decided I was going to become a recovery coach and help other addicts. And that's what my book is about. And we have freedom with God. And I don't have any cravings. I haven't had a craving in 30 years. Wow. Okay, and I'm in bars and restaurants. I owned a poker league in Mercer County for 10 years. I was in restaurants and bars every night with it. You know, so it's great. So my journey started because I wrote my first book in 2016 and then I revised it. I didn't want to write book 2. I wanted to keep my baby all together. So at the end of the first book, in this book, Glenn, you'll see a page that will say, from this page forward is my revised edition. So in 2020, that's what I did. And I'm just blessed. And everybody that I've met to interview, and I'm blessed to meet you. I mean, you approached me. I mean, thank you. So that's part of my journey. So if you'd like to ask me something.
This is a Sunday afternoon. And we've had two nighttime shows and an a cappella show, and you have been filming the entire time.
Yes.
What's that all about?
Okay, so that's a beautiful question because you're going to make me tear up when I tell you what it's all about. So Ruben is the younger partner of Hamilton Radio. He's the tech guy. He could be like my son. And I drag him to all these things, and I got him hooked up with Jim Durkin, and I've interviewed Jim and Fred for this show.
Jim's a promoter.
Yes. And so they got him to do the filming now. So he's working the film on the nights, and I'm doing my lives. But I do my lives wherever I go, to any entertainer show if they permit it. This is why. I can't tell you, just last night, 2 minutes after my live was done, I had 178 comments at that point. These people who can't leave their homes, some are, I'm going to tear up because they call me personally, Geri, you don't know what you've done for me with them keeping the music live. Thank you. Yeah. They can't go out, and they love the music. Listen, even little babies, 4-month-old babies that are in little bouncies, you put music on, they start bouncing. Mm-hmm. So it's innate in us. Music saves us. Okay, so the musicians are incredible, and I just love them all, and I want to keep the music alive. I'm an old soul. Listen, I'm only 61. I was born in 1961. The majority of the hits came out in 61. There were so many famous records, right? And I say I was born too late. But you know what? Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was born at the right time, because I'm an Elvis, oldies, and doo-wop girl. And when I go to these shows, I am in my glory, and I can't stop taping them. I want to do the live so that these people out there have a concert that they can never get to.
Yeah. You take them there. I mean, you actually put them in a seat at that show.
I do.
Yeah.
And you have to see them. Jerry, thank you. Oh my gosh, crying. I couldn't leave my house today.
Yeah.
I couldn't leave my bed all week.
How'd you get into music? I mean, what got you into music?
Okay, I'm going to share something silly now. The only thing I can tell you is this. I wasn't even in school yet, and my mom could have told you that this is true. And I lived in Long Island City, New York growing up. We moved to New Jersey when I was 12, and I've been here ever since. But we used to get the TV guide delivered to our doors. My dad owned our 6-family apartment building. It was all family that lived there, right? And every time the TV guy came, I opened it up, and I found Elvis's picture. Mommy, Elvis, Elvis. She's like, okay, you're going to watch Elvis. I can't even explain it to you. How could you explain what a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, I don't know what he meant to me, but he meant something. So once I really got into his music, I got into oldies, 98.1 back then. And Don K. Reed, rest in peace, sir. I got to interview him as well. Rest in peace. I mean, Cousin Brucey and Don K. Reed, that's all we listened to in our cars. I flipped over oldies. I mean, I was into like some Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven, I went to a lot of concerts as a teenager, but my heart belongs to the oldies and the Doo Wop and Elvis.
Tell me about Elvis's son.
Okay.
People are going to say, what? Elvis doesn't have a son. He's got a daughter.
So here, there's rumors that Elvis has had other kids, blah, blah. I got approached by his manager. She called me up and she said, Jerry, I know you're a huge Elvis fan. You came highly recommended. Would you like to interview him? She said, do you need proof? I said, please. She interviewed me, court documents. My cousin is a lawyer, read them all over, said they're real. I got a letter that was sent to her from Graceland stating, yes, he owns the rights to the name. The court documents said this: you will never, ever be sued. You own the rights to your father's name. You are now Elvis Aaron Presley Jr. No one could get you off a stage. He's been on National Enquirer. Howard Stern interviewed him. He's very well known all over the world. He's got awards. He came from a family of entertainers. And his story is out there. It's not just on my interview. He tells it all.
But you don't see it on him.
Well, huge Elvis fans, we all knew about him. I knew about him for years, but kind of said I better stay away from this with a 10-foot pole. So I'm so glad now, and he's a beautiful man when I tell you, and he's my age. He was born in 61. He got to meet his father without knowing he was his father because he didn't even know he was adopted. Papers had to be signed back then, so they couldn't tell him he was adopted till he was 21. He got to see Elvis at his last concert before he died. Elvis's guys recognized that your son is in the audience. He said, bring him back here. And he was with 2 friends. And Elvis said to the 2 boys, hello, boys. And it was okay to call them Southern. He said to him, hello, son. But he just thought it was a Southern thing. And he took a ring off his finger and said, son, I want you to have this. So he has the whole story. So he got to meet him at least. He didn't know he was adopted, so he couldn't even think about that. He looks like a 62, he's 62 now, 62-year-old Elvis would, and sounds just like his father.
He sings?
Sings. Oh, he entertains. You'll Google him today. Elvis Aaron Presley Jr. He's incredible.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Where do you go from here? What's next for you? You're 61 years old.
Okay, what's next?
You got plenty of life, yeah?
So what's next for me? All right. I would love, to get a phone call and saying, listen, we're going to give you your own show on ABC, NBC, right? Who wouldn't want that? But I'm blessed, even financially I'm fine, I'm blessed. And I have to continue to do what I'm doing for God because God gave me this gift of my voice, and I used to get yelled at by my parents, and they would say, you don't shut up. They're gone now, and I know they're looking down, and they're saying she's finally using it for real good. So I'll never stop doing what I'm doing to help people. I have to. God helped me, save my life, and I'm never going to stop.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass by Geri Petito. I'd rather be a smart ass than a dumb ass. Thank you for your time and really good luck to you.
Are you kidding me?
Nice to meet you.
I love you and thank you too. This was such an honor that you approached me for this. I can't even tell you. God bless you, Glenn.
Thank you.